What's up? So last week I asked you guys what your favorite LTM in Fortnite was, and you guys responded with many answers. So today we're going to be looking at your guys' responses and ranking every LTM or game mode in Fortnite from worst to best. And just as a side note, I chose not to include some of the more redundant LTMs and just kind of included them all together, like soaring 50s when it's literally just 50v50, teams of 12, trios, things like that. But don't worry, we've got all the major things. Also doing a giveaway for a Black Ops 4 mystery box pack thing. If you guys are all interested in that, link in the description. You gotta be subscribed to the channel, and yeah, let's do this. Okay, so coming in at the lowest spot on our list at 29, this is teams of 33. Now this finished with 1,083 votes, and I really think that the reason that this got voted so low has nothing to do with it being a bad game mode, but just a pretty boring game mode. This was one of the ones that was on the edge of really including. It was like, okay, we've got 50v50, we've got teams of 20, we've got teams of 33, teams of 12. I chose to include it because it's kind of unique, but it's really just pretty bland. And had we included more of these kinds of ones, it would have literally just been the first 5 to 10 of just like soaring 50s, flying 50s. So yeah, nothing wrong with teams of 33, just pretty bland. At 28, we have Final Fight with 1,153 votes. Final Fight is another pretty bland game mode that I feel like Team Rumble really benefited off of the trial of that game. Like the idea was there, but there was no respawn, and basically it just pushes all the players into one circle for a final fight, and that's game. This had a bunch of variations as well with 20s and 12s, but really pretty boring. And at 27, funnily enough, we've got Ice Storm with 1,198 votes. Seeing as this was the main theme of Season 7, I find it pretty funny that it did that poorly, but this really just shows you what the community thinks of husks and fog. And if you were wondering, it's not good. At 26, with 1,248 votes, we have Barebones. This was another just completely lackluster game mode. They removed the map and teammate icons. It's not the winning formula for a good game mode. And at 25, with 1,328 votes, we have Steady Storm. The problem with a constantly moving storm is I feel like it doesn't really encourage gunfights, and it's more just about staying in the circle, and once you get engaged with someone, that can be very hard to do. So in my opinion, this was a pretty bad game mode. And at 24, with 1,410 votes, we have Ground Game. Now, this is one that I actually thought might have done a little bit better. Basically, for those of you that don't know, you get 30 wood, 20 brick and metal, and other than that, it's just gunfights. I had expected this to be a successful game mode because it's very like pre-season 1 Fortnite vibes where you might throw down a wall to protect you, and other than that, you're just gun skills. It felt like very OG Fortnite to me, but apparently people really didn't like this one. It also doesn't help that it wasn't in the game very long. And at 23 with 1,737 votes, we have teams of 20. Better than 50v50 and 33 in my opinion, but still just pretty boring. Although I should note the iconic clip from smokeyk where this guy just literally 1v20s an entire squad. Who wants some smoke? You all remember that. Never forget that. That was Fortnite history right there. You're dead! Let's go! 22 bombs! I just took down the whole squad! At 22 with 1,790 votes, we have Fortnitemares, which was just, again, I feel like same as Ice Storm, a pretty big failure. It's sad to see an LTM that was basically a full-time game mode do so poorly, but people did not like husks. At 21 with 1,980 votes, we have Score Royale. This was a game mode that I always felt like was very much for noobs, as you don't actually even have to get into fights to win. You just collect coins and do stuff in the map. Yeah, I get why people might like this, but I just don't think it was very true to Fortnite. And even if it was kind of casual, I don't think it was fun. And to top out our 20 list, we have Siphon with 2,151 votes. This is a game mode that really lends itself to good players. There's an iconic video from Mitro where he gets a 42 kill solo v squads, and it's completely because of the re-healing method, which I guess is now just normal Fortnite actually. The only way to heal is to get kills, so if you're good at that, you'll have lots of health. Most players in the lobby will not have full health, and then it just kind of feeds itself, which really leads itself to being a crazy pub stomping game like Mitro. At 19 with 2,476 votes, we have Sneaky Silencers, which I'm kind of surprised that this did so good, actually. This is one of the OG game modes, and while I get that probably a lot of people recognize it and have seen it around a lot, I think this is one of the worst game modes in Fortnite. Now, it's certainly better than something like Final Fight or Teams at 33 that really has no special aspect to it, but the point of this I always assumed was sneaking around, and Fortnite as an aggressive game, it just doesn't really lend itself to that sort of play style. At 18, we have Disco Domination with 2,664 votes. I like the idea for this. I think this was the first ever respawn game in Fortnite, and I like it for that, if that is correct, but I never enjoyed this game mode. Something about just standing on a platform and dancing was always really frustrating to me. I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to kill people. So I don't really like this one. Now at 17 with 2,672 votes, we have Wild West, which was a unique LTM. Basically, it's hunting rifles and revolvers and dynamite and just kind of old school stuff. Nothing special, but like a respectable game mode in a note of itself, and I see nothing wrong with it. At number 16 with 2,725 votes, this is Sword Fight. Okay, names aside, what a ridiculous game mode this was. Just everyone gets swords. Just, oh man. Just a ton of people in the lobby running around with infinity swords. Very, very ridiculous. I think it'd be hilarious if they did this, but instead of it being infinity swords, it's infinity gauntlets. That would probably be terrible, but still funny. Sword Fight wasn't my favorite game mode, but it was sure ridiculous, so it gets that. Okay, now at 15 with 2,795 votes, I think this is a troll because it's Love Shot, which is a crossbow only game mode. That just doesn't make sense to me that people would like this. I don't know if it had anything to do with the Valentine's Day event, but my guess is that this one was trolls. At 14 with 3,583 votes, we have Fly Explosives. Now this was a 50v50 mode, but I feel like it stood out enough that it was worth including on this list. Which actually makes perfect sense because this, for a 50v50 mode, is a lot of votes. It actually almost beat every other 50v50 mode combined. Another kind of ridiculous game mode, but I like these kind of ridiculous game modes. It's fun. Anything with jetpacks to me is fun. Anything with lots of rockets is fun, so I support this one. At 13 with 3,658 votes, we have another very ridiculous game mode. This is Slide. This was the 14 Days of Christmas LTM, and I'm less sure that this is a troll, but basically for those of you that don't know what this game mode was, is the entire map, like everyone has ice feet. You're just sliding everywhere. You've got an infinite grappler, and it's just a real mess. I'm really surprised that this one did so high. I never played it myself, but just from what I've seen of gameplay, it looks ridiculous. I don't know, honestly, like that's a good question for the comments if you guys like it or not, or is this one a troll? Let me know. Now at 12, we've got the original and every other weird offset like Soaring 50s game mode, which is 50v50. While I don't like 50v50, I do have a soft spot for it in my heart because this was like my first ever popular Fortnite video that I uploaded, basically just saying, hey guys, I know it's cool that they released a new game mode, but it still sucks. That's really all I have to say about 50v50. It was one of the first casual modes, but Team Rumble is just so much better. So for that reason, I'm not a fan. Now at number 11 with 4,162 votes, we have Close Encounters. Okay, Close Encounters, great one. Love the game mode. Honestly, probably one of my favorite of all time. Shotguns, jetpacks, no worries about getting sniped. Just a real carefree, fun, yet skillful game mode. I mean, you gotta be good with a shotgun if you want to excel in this, but you know, it's just, I just feel like with this game mode, I can just relax, but also play super aggressively. I can play super try-hard, but also not have to think about getting sniped at distance and all this stuff, and it's literally just an insane shotgun fest, and I really like this one, so yeah. And anyways, to top out our number 10, with 4,644 votes, this is Blitz. In my opinion, another phenomenal game mode. This, I think, was really the first good game mode. I mean, before Blitz, you did have high explosives, but like a real game mode that actually changed Fortnite, and I feel like really was just a great addition. This came out sometime in early 2018, and during that time, there were no vehicles, so getting around the map was a little bit slower than it is today, and it really just picked up the pace. For me, I really enjoyed that. This is one that I don't see a lot in the rotation, but I really do like this game mode. Now at 9 with 4,705 votes, this is Food Fight. While I never really personally loved Food Fight, I do give it points for creativity. It seems to be one of the more objective-based LTMs, which there's not a ton of those. Objective as in not just killing people. So I get why people like this one. I think it was a pretty good game mode, and that makes sense. Now at 8, with 5,378 votes, we have High Explosives. This is what a FORTNITE LTM is all about. It's just chaotic and fun, and everybody just shooting each other in the face with rockets. What more do you want? Our editor Roman is a huge fan of High Explosives, as you've seen probably in a lot of clips of gameplay, and there's a reason for that. It's just great. Whether it be the quad launcher, guided missiles, or the original High Explosives with nothing but RPGs and grenade launchers, it's a game mode that has stood the test of time, and I'm a huge fan. Now moving on to number 7 with 6,075 votes, this is Team Rumble. This makes sense to me. Like I said, I think Team Rumble is really the best casual game mode if you want to play Fortnite, but just like in a much more casual environment where you don't have to go insane. I mean, occasionally you'll find a really good player that goes in there and it's annoying, but like it's something that is expected, and the general player base is much more casual. I like it. That's all I really need to say. And moving on to number 6, we have High Stakes with 6,536 votes. This is another one that makes sense. Getaway or High Stakes, the wild card event, whatever, is a very strong game mode. I think it kind of, like, it takes a good objective and it pairs it with like a fair game mode where there's not only one person winning. So it's casual, but not casual. It really does everything right. It feels fast-paced. I have nothing bad to say about Getaway. I think it really is one of the best LTMs. And obviously, it probably got a little bit of a bump because it just came back last week. But still, regardless, it's great. Now, interestingly enough, at 5, we have Sniper Shootout with 6,558 votes. Now, my guess is this is the 6,558 Modern Warfare 2 players on this survey. I mean, listen, even myself, I'm not unfamiliar with a little bit of Rust, 1v1 quickscopes, intervention, okay? But, like, really? My problem with Sniper Shootout is I feel like a lot of it is just two people running, like, right in front of each other, just trying to get a lucky, like, no scope, and there's just a lot of skill lost in the way a lot of players play. I mean, if you do play it seriously and actually try to snipe people, it is fun, but I'm just surprised it did that high. Now at 4, with 7,478 votes, we have Solid Gold. I think this was another one of the original, like, just very solid game modes, but for a very different reason than Blitz. Blitz sped up the game, but what Solid Gold did is it made the player feel like ninja. Maybe that's not the right thing, but it gave you the feeling of late game where you're just stacked out with good weapons. To anybody that wanted to just hop in and just play normal Fortnite, they're like, here, have a gold scar, take all these great weapons. And I think it felt cool for that reason. Since this game mode came out, I've always been a huge fan of Solid Gold, so I'm glad to see this one do high, because I think it does something really fun for the players. Now at 3, with 8,193 votes, again, I think this is the Modern Warfare 2 trick shot and community voting. We have One Shot. I don't like One Shot. I'm okay with Sniper Shootout, but I really just find this to be a very lucky game mode. I mean, that's what makes it cool, and that's what makes it kind of intense, so I get why people like it, but the problem I have with it is I feel like sometimes you just get someone like that's not even very good with a sniper, they just get a lucky shot on you, and you're out. Obviously, I guess you should just do better, and if you're really good, then you'll be fine. That's my only complaint with this game mode. That being said, it's just funny to see, like, of course the sniper's only game mode is doing so well. Like, it's just, while the games may change, the gamers never do. Anyways, at number 2, with 10,000, the first to crack the 5-digit mark, 10,141 votes, we have Unvaulted. Unvaulted is really just one of the best game modes. It just takes everything cool from the past days of Fortnite. It puts it all into one great game mode. I mean, really, sometimes I like Unvaulted more than I do like current Fortnite, because it's like, there's no stupid things in here, and it's just the stupid drum gun. But, it's fun to go back and play with that nostalgia. I feel like a lot of Unvaulted is just bolt sniper, drum gun, and tactical SMG. Those are like the 3. That's all people want. Like, I don't care about anything else. Just give me this. You know, as a side note, I did always wish that they would just like throw in the purple tack. Like, I know it's the same as the blue tack, but like just stuff like that. I think that would be fun. Either way though, at the end of the day, Unvaulted is a great game mode, so I can see this. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at our number 1 spot with 11,444. Oh my god. It's the greatest LTM of all time. I'm really hoping it's coming back for Endgame, because I've never actually played it myself.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Look at this dude.
But even so, I know it's the best. Obviously, it is Infinity Gauntlet. This is the LTM that the community talks about. That is like, oh my god, this was the greatest thing ever. This was peak Fortnite. It's got to be coming back. I hope it's coming back. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe, and again, giveaway for this thing. Giveaway in the description. Subscribe to the channel. Podcast, follow me on Twitter. Just follow the link, you'll know what it is. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you later. Peace. This is round 2. My microphone, I don't know why, it wasn't muted, it just didn't record. But I see that my microphone is recording now, so